Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another cast. Guys, today I have for you an epic 3v3 on this map, V Supreme. The more that I play and watch this map, the more I just love it. I think it's such a well-designed, amazingly diverse and kind of dynamic map with all the different land, air, sea, and hovercraft strategies that it seems to produce. I had a 3v3 today, and it was such a cool game that I just felt like I had to cast it to you guys because it was so fun, and it turned out really, really well. Now, guys, we are playing on patch 9.97. A new escalation patch has just dropped, and this patch has all kinds of juicy new units and features. There's way too many features for me to list in this cast, but it is very exciting for the channel because you guys are going to start seeing some new units and strategies and all kinds of craziness that Escalation does love to offer. So guys, I'm very excited to bring you this game. It was so close and so good, and I won't tell you exactly what happens, okay? I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there could maybe be T3 naval combat. That could actually be a possibility. I won't say whether that happens or not, but it could happen. Type the sonar command so we can see what's underwater. Let me go ahead and introduce the players. Here on the northern team, we have Mr. Fake Bob, the pink armed commander. In blue, we have Los Parkeros. I'm probably butchering that. I'm horrible. I'm just going to call him Los. I'm not very good at names. And then in orange, Ronaz. And here in red, the scrubbiest scrub of all time, of course, me. In purple, Butterfly of Truth, my good friend and mod. And here in brown, Captain OCD. So guys, early on, let me tell you a little bit about what I was thinking. My idea here was actually to go hovercraft. So I was going to go vehicles into hovers, and then I was going to go to T2 hovers. And in patch 997, they added, well, they actually put the Berserker, which is like the floating hovercraft doomsday machine, back to T2. So I really wanted to test that. Unfortunately, one of our players, who I won't name, had some mismatched files, so I couldn't actually build that. But nonetheless, that was my plan. I was going to start out with vehicles, I was going to go into hovers, and then I was going to try to do some sneaky kind of hover strategy. Now, the first thing that you'll notice when watching this, on a map like this, orange goes straight into sea, and that's what you should do. Someone on your team should be going right into naval right away. There's just way too much metal, like in the water, and tidal energy is so effective. I say that as Ronaz walks back on the land to build a wind generator. But nonetheless, guys, the fact that brown is not going into the sea, it's a little bit concerning. One of your teammates should definitely go into the water on any kind of hybrid map, usually, especially if they start near the water. So the northern team definitely having an advantage over us already. It's not a good look, my friends. Orange in the water and already taking control of that. I've got some instigators here on the way. And also Butterfly with his own instigators and Captain OCD with some peewees. But we'll go ahead and speed it up a little bit. There's not too much going on right now, just some scouting. A little bit of scouting action. Early on in this map, you are mostly just kind of expanding and taking over the map. Maybe having some skirmishes here and there. I do find blues instigators, and so we have a little bit of a tussle here near the center of the map as we do meet here. I built a single slasher. Guys, the reason that I built a slasher, the slasher has a much higher line of sight, that was the main reason, just so I can see what's going on a little better around me and be able to adjust and react more quickly and precisely. Anti-air units in this mod, in addition to being able to shoot air, generally have a longer vision range, and that also includes the anti-air structures like missile towers and flaks and things like that. So that is one nice thing. That's one reason to include anti-air in the army. In addition to having air coverage, you also get some extra vision, which can help you. Now, I am winning this early engagement, but as you can see, Ronaz has taken over the sea here. He's scouting around for which one of our players went into the water, but little does Ronaz know, we are playing chess in 4D. None of us are going into the water. We're too good, actually, to go into the water on the southern team. Only scrubs play in the sea, and none of us are scrubs. So, anyway, one thing is that both purple and brown have found an opening here. They have found a bit of an entrance, so maybe something can get done here. Killing a half-built hovercraft plant and some mexes. Not bad. They're probably going to get that con as well. And then on my side, I send through some instigators, kill a couple light laser towers, and then shamefully, I forget about these for a long time. I really should have kept moving these up here. There was no defense. I could have just moved these up here and gotten some more damage done, but really I just forget about them, so that's, again, very shameful. Butterfly tries to go into the sea, but way too late. Ronaz is there, though he could probably just take the construction vehicle and move it like down here and build. Like, Ronaz only has scouts here, but Orange is a very good player. I will say, Orange is a very strong player. Good at kind of predicting what the enemy will do a lot of the time, and there's going to be some epic naval battles in this game, so just hold on to your pants, everyone. Put the popcorn in the microwave. Crack your beers or Coke or whatever it is you drink, and just prepare yourself emotionally. Make sure you're sitting down, because what you are about to witness will change your life. I do finally remember that I have instigators here. You know what? We'll say that I didn't forget them. I was biding my time. I was waiting for the moment, right? Like, I was waiting for the moment that my enemy would not be ready, you know. These were like covert ops. Unfortunately, my covert ops have been found, and I will get de-gunned there. It would have been better if I'd gone this way, but oh well. Nonetheless, I still think we have a better start here. We're taking over a little bit more of the map. At least on land, we have a better start. In the water, it's kind of a disaster. I am on hovers now and pumping out some snappers, sending some construction hovercraft around just to get some more metal and whatnot. But the early game, pretty standard so far. Purple going to T2. Ronaz now taking full control of the sea with Crusaders and Skeeters. So this is another reason you really should try to take control of the sea, because these Crusaders can just bombard people off the shoreline. And once again, Ronaz being very, very good at scouting the shoreline here. I'm not even sure how he did that. He must have queued commands to scout the edges, and he's doing that on purpose because he's trying to see if any of us go into the water and stop us from doing that. Really, if you can prevent the enemy team from being in the water, it's going to give you a huge advantage on a map like this, where of course there's tons of metal in the water. And titles as well will give you 25 energy per structure. So really, Ronaz doing his homework, looking for somebody. He knows that somebody's going to be getting into the sea But right now I'm just building hovercraft. I see that Ronaz is moving around, and so now the hovercraft will meet these skeeters, and of course snappers should be able to handle skeeters without much problem. The skeeters are mostly annoying. Skeeters are a lot weaker in this mod than they are in, say, Pro TA or OTA. They have lost their missile. They just have a pretty weak kind of rating laser. Mostly for harassment purposes. It doesn't do great in a battle unless you have a ton of them. But if you're going to build a ton of ships early on, you might want to just build vanguards or the escort frigates. Now, as you can see, I'm building some torpedo launchers here. The idea was just to wall off this whole side and then protect this side with hovercraft. If you are fighting in the sea with hovercraft, you're always going to be at a disadvantage, so you have to do something. You really have to find a way to make it work for you. In the sea, ships really have dominance. But using these snappers to try to catch the Crusaders, it looks like I have enough to deal with that. Now Ronaz knows I am on hovercraft, surrounding this Crusader so I can prevent it from running and killing it. And now Pink with his own hovercraft attack. Butterfly has built a Punisher, but it's not very well defended, and I assume this is going to die without much resistance. There it goes. There goes the Punisher. And now Blue pushing down with Storms and Reapers. I do have a lot of Raiders. EXE inspired me in the last cast to start building Raiders because they're quite impressive, but it looks like Captain OCD in a bit of trouble here. He's going to be killing those. So, yeah, as you can see, combination of pink and orange, they have just raided the whole north of our island. So that's not looking great for us at all. Brown's sending in a few units over here to fight Blue's little army, but Blue's army is pretty scary. A nice combination of Reapers to tank and the Storms for the long range damage, and it seems to be working quite effectively. Now, I've included in my army some deleters, and this is on purpose so that Blue will not see my army on radar. Oh, I guess it maybe doesn't work in the replayer, but he won't be able to see them on radar. He'll only have to engage them with line of sight. That really helps against these storm clumps here that they can't just radar target me. I'm moving this in. It's pretty even, but again, storms are very strong. Pink coming in to help with his own army. A little bit of battles happening there as well, but it's scary because Ronaz is taking over the sea, and even on T2 already with some underwater combined storages. I forgot to build those this game. I need to remember that. The underwater combined storage is a really great kind of storage device, but Ronaz somehow getting a Crusader. I'm not even sure how he got that here past all of my torpedo launchers. I'm not really sure how he got it there, but what I do here is pull the snakes actually have a longer range than the Crusaders. So what I did was I pulled the snake out of range of the Crusader so I could kill it without losing my shipyard. So I am trying to get into the sea here. I realize my allies aren't really going to help me, so I need to take matters into my own hand in controlling the water. It's just really, somebody has to do it. You just cannot do a map like this without having naval. I think the erasers here are really helping me, this or the deleter. They can't see my army on their radar. It's very, very difficult to respond to something that you would not even be able to spot without line of sight. And Pink in the water as well. He's also got hovercraft, obviously, and my teammates seem to be really struggling to deal with these hovercraft, and I wish I could have helped them more, but the reality is I was trying to defend my own side of the island, now getting pelted by Conquerors and Reapers. I was getting 2v1 the whole game by Orange and Blue. It wasn't a great feeling at all. These two players, very, very effective at their kind of combined forces attacks. Extremely difficult to deal with. And now Blue building a neutralizer, the tactical nuke here, up on the high ground. That's a very good position for it because it's hard to find. You would have to move your units all the way around here to even get to it. So nice, nice position for a tactical nuke. And now Orange moving down with a rather large fleet, but I do have all these torpedo launchers trying to guard this side while I move my hovercraft over here. And to be honest, I should have been sending my hovercraft inland to help my teammates here stop this, but I was just busy doing other things, fighting in the middle, and soon having to deal with this attack as they're also hitting me on the land as well. So I was just a little occupied. Probably should have helped more here, but again, they're getting it's 2v1, so purple and brown should be able to handle Pink's hovercraft. Fortunately, they're kind of struggling. Meanwhile, I have my own little battle here at the bottom. Lot of ships moving in, but I do have some submarines to try and defend my base. Nice thing is, Conquerors do not have any anti-sub capabilities, so once I take out the escort ships, this Conqueror will be vulnerable to the submarines, and even though he gets the shipyard, he has no countermeasures. He will die to the subs. So submarines really saving me here, and now moving my hovercraft over here to try to protect my team. Stop Pink from just raiding their bases without any counterplay, and moving my army, including Goliath now. Goliath, of course, incredibly effective in this type of situation, especially as a front line. And I also included submarines in this as well. That was very purposeful. But kind of pushing through the front here, or pushing through that side. And the problem is Pink is still getting around me. I just, unfortunately, am not able to micro all of this at once. I'm trying to micro this army here, and also working on my base at the same time, building a fusion reactor. Let's check the player bases. Pink, of course, on hovers. It's amazing to me that Pink is doing this much damage with hovercraft when he's also on T2 and building all these defenses. So very, very nice job by Pink, I think, to not only be very aggressive, but also defending himself extremely well. And he's got way too much here. Now, this is partly my fault. I should have been paying more attention to this. I could have used my submarines, of course, to manually fire. But I was engaged over here, and I don't think that those hovers were going to get much done anyway. Not to make excuses for my terrible micromanagement skills. There really is no excuse. But that is just what happened. Unfortunately, that tactical nuke is complete. So, I do not know about this. I'm totally unaware of that tactical nuke. I have a very nice army here. And moving through, need to kill the simulator for sure. Sending my submarines up. Moving my forces back a little bit. Now, if I had known how little defense there was. I didn't realize that there was only 4 light laser towers there. I may have pushed through with what I have. I think I have maybe just enough with the Goliaths to break through blue and maybe even get to his vehicle plants. But I'm using the Goliaths right now to just tank all this with the idea that once I kill the Immolator, I can break through. But now, orange moving into the coastline and stopping the reinforcements from reaching the front. So again, blue and orange, very nice teamwork this game. So I now start sending my forces up, but there's a very well-placed Viper here. And unfortunately, that one Viper makes it feel like this attack is not going to work. Especially with orange just pelting all my reinforcements from the sea. Again, blue and orange. Great teamwork this game. Causing me a lot of grief. And that one extremely well-placed Viper preventing me from just walking into his base there and maybe killing him. So, frustrating as Pink, in addition to all his hovercraft rating, somehow has a huge force of bulldogs and stumpies. Now, one thing I will say, Brown did get a little mad at me, and I agree. What I did was maybe bad-mannered, but Brown had some mexes here, but they were just T1, so I was reclaiming them with my construction vehicles and building moho mines on them. That was Blue's first tactical nuke, taking out what was left of my army, so that is a disgusting situation. And now Pink, despite all of his hovercraft rating, has a massive force of bulldogs. Butterfly doing a good job with Goliath here. Decent sized army there. But yeah, this is a pretty disgusting situation to be in. And it's difficult, I guess, to try to split resources, both to be able to handle land army and also what is going on in the sea. Let's check out the player bases while we can. Blue on T2, of course. We already know orange is on T2. Try not to miss anything. It's a really big map, so it's easy to kind of miss what's going on. I've got 2 advanced vehicle plants. Battle happening right here. And more ships shelling from the coastline, but Goliath's pillagers, a nice combo. Try and defend myself with at least. Once again, Pink getting a lot done with his rating. That has to stop. Brown on T2 still. The T2 advanced vehicle plant. I'm not sure if Butterfly's... Yeah, he is, of course. He's got his advanced vehicle plant, but Pink's army seems to have broken through here and now moving into his base. However, Butterfly, some decent defenses at that part, but once again, these hovercraft is causing so many problems. And moving out with a force of snakes, hovers, and executioners as well. I've got to deal with this massive T2 army that Orange has built. So the nice thing here is that Orange's army is really lacking in sub-defense. So these submarines are going to have a nice time just killing these Conquerors. After I took out all the anti-sub defense, Conquerors completely defenseless, and these submarines are going to be able to deal with that pretty effectively. Also moving forward with an army of Goliath's pillagers as well. So again, it was difficult to try and fight both the land and sea battle at the same time. But now another tactical nuke coming down to just take out my whole army. Guys, and now a Millennium on the field as well. So, guys, I really did not know what was happening to my army. I swear to God, like, I would bring my army like here, that's where it was, and then I'd look away for a second, because, you know, I'd be like fighting in the sea right here, like I'm having a big naval battle, and I'd look back and my army was gone, and I had no idea what happened. I mean, in retrospect, I guess it should have been obvious that it was there was a tactical nuke, but I didn't. I was just like thinking maybe I was moving my units forward too much, but there is a a battleship here, but once again, not enough sub-defense. And so this battleship also has no depth charges or any way to protect itself, and these submarines are really the only thing keeping me in the sea here, taking out this battleship, because it has no ability to stop me from just killing it. But again, I'm kind of having to devote half as much. That tactical nuke absolutely decimated my army, so now I'm struggling to kill what's left of these Goliaths. Again, it is so difficult to fight both orange and blue simultaneously as Ronaz. Look at this. Ronaz, master of eco. Look at all of these combined storages. This is so smart, man. Like, the amount of storage he has is incredible. That's what you want to do, especially if you're going to go into Mega Eco. And oh my god, look at this. Ronaz on a capital shipyard, already on T3. Nobody else in the game is on T3 but him. So, the battle for the sea continues, but now most of my army has been killed. And these, what is it, 5 Goliaths. 2 kills on that one, 1 kill, 4. So they don't have a lot of kills, but I just don't really have enough to deal with them right now. I've got all these construction units down here trying to upgrade my economy, and still having, let me slow it down to normal, a battle for the sea, including some executioners in the mix, and submarines to deal with this Millennium. So submarines and executioners, a very strong combo for the sea. So submarines can take out anything underneath, and executioners anything above. But now these Goliaths are just causing me such a headache, as a tactical nuke was quite a problem. And now Pink sending his army back down the sea. He is also in the water, tons of hovercraft. This is a D-Day-like scenario for our northern team, or for the team on the top there. My 2 teammates. But the sea situation starting to turn into my favor. These positive engagements I've had using mostly the submarines. Once you get enough submarines, they really do become... They hit critical mass. It becomes kind of a terrifying situation. He's still working on this arc light. It's taking a while, but this will allow me to come up here and kill all of this. Pink moving down once again. These hovercraft have just been a problem the entire game, and they continue to be a problem for our team. And again, it's so hard for me to help because I'm on this part of the map. As you can see, I've got a metric ton of construction aircraft there. But now, this one Goliath, this is one of the biggest mistakes I think I made in the game. This one Goliath breaks through and kills all the construction, all the eco I have here, and all the construction vehicles. It was just not paying attention. I could have moved these snappers 2 inches, maybe stopped this catastrophe. This is just a massacre. It's so sad. I was unfortunately doing other things, and I end up losing all those construction vehicles to one Goliath. 19 kills on this one guy. What an annoying... 21 kills now. What an annoying guy there. Very frustrating for me to deal with. And now Pink is moving through with this combined attack. It's extremely effective. Bulldogs Anacondas and Crusaders from the shoreline. Most of Butterfly's defenses are already gone. All that's left are some Bulldogs, so Fake Bob's attacks this game have been incredibly effective. You have to give props to him. He was basically 2v1, doing this mostly by himself. I have sneakily taken most of the underwater metal extractors there, but now Orange using some Zephyrs to try to push me back. I'm just walking into his base, and unfortunately I don't really have any air defense up there, and my teammates are kind of collapsing, doing their best, but Pink coming in from so many angles, and there's just not much defense there. There's just really not much to stop this from breaking into the base, as Pink really has been the MVP this game. He has been really making some good calls, staying on the aggressive the whole time, not really giving our team a chance to breathe. And I've been so busy with orange and blue that I haven't had much of a chance to help my teammates. And I probably could have helped more. It was just so difficult, as I'm having an epic battle on the sea here, trying to win the naval war. Look at all these submarines and cruisers. So my theory is that, like, if I can win in the water, maybe I can turn the game around on the north side. Taking control of the sea is very important on a map like this. I've got a couple bombers, and by the way, these are bombers that Captain OCD gave me. So I've just been using these bombers. But yeah, Brown running away with his commander, trying to get away from that, but he will die there. Pink with a nice snipe, using those hovercraft. And still trying to use these bombers, still using my Goliaths, trying to hold on. But another push in the north, with mostly executioners and snakes. And trying to hold this as well. So again, I wish I could have helped my teammates more, but I'm trying to fight on two fronts already. Brown does get taken out. And now moving up into Orange's base with quite a few cruisers and submarines here. This is an impressive force of ships. Once again, I don't have any air defense in my army, and that I think does force me back, because I'm waiting for the air defense to actually come up. The shredders moving in from far away. Maybe I could have done it. Maybe I should have kept pushing, despite the fact that didn't have much air defense, but they were just getting free shots on me. I figured there was more torpedo gunships on the way. So the idea was I need to get air defense in this fleet before I can continue to attack. Now it is just purple against pink, and yeah, kind of a dire situation for us. But as I was saying, I took some of Brown's extractors and upgraded them to T2, and I do apologize for that, Brown. I'm sorry. He kind of gave me a tongue lashing in the chat after the game. But guys, it really was not meant to be. I really wasn't doing it out of spite. I was just trying to upgrade my economy, and was focused on way too many things at once here. Now blue has a big Bertha somewhere, Intimidator. So nice job by Los here. 31 kills on this tactical nuke. So frustrating. And now the Intimidator causing all kinds of problems. But finally the anti-airships have made it to the front line. And now, with this anti-air support, perhaps we can go for an attack. Pink and purple here, their forces will clash at the bottom left of the island. But I think at this point, purple just trying to hold on as I push through the sea with a very formidable fleet of executioners and snakes and some shredders for anti-air. What can orange do to stop me? He is now finally building piranhas, but maybe too little too late. He needed those maybe about 15 minutes ago, as I have an overwhelming force of executioners here. This is about as epic of a naval battle as we can get. That is a ton of submarines and cruisers moving up into his base, and as you can see here, if I get a little further north, we'll be in the production. And there's not much that can stop an army like this. Blue bringing his own fighters. I was prepared for this. This is why I retreated. However, an arc light is on the field. Finally, we get to see it, ladies and gentlemen. T3 naval. Unfortunately, it has to be used against me. But now we are in that stage of the game. This arc light fighting against tons of cruisers and also submarines. Is it enough? I am trying to surround it. This thing has so much health. Look at how much punishment it is taking. And I think at this moment, someone in the chat says, "Look, Wing, your favorite." And I tell him to shut up. That was actually Blue, because he's just mocking me. But I do find Orange's commander, and instead of trying to kill the T3, which practically has taken out most of my fleet already, I decide if I can take out Orange's commander, that will be more than enough. So Orange will die. Now the game goes to a 2v2. And what a game it has been. So we have lost a teammate, and they have now lost their own teammate. So it goes to a more of a classic 2v2. As you can see, I have not skimped on the construction power. Guys, don't try this at home. This is outrageous. And I'm not even using most of them. I mean, I guess I finally do pick all these up, but the idea here was just to have enough construction power to build whatever I wanted whenever I wanted, and that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to build some advanced aircraft plants right away, and then use all this build power to pump out aircraft at the speed of light. So this is troll, but you know, I just wanted to be able to build things quickly, and so that is how you do it. There's, again, more battles of Goliaths here. I'm really just building this Goliath to protect me while I attempt to rebuild my fleet and rebuild whatever else to try to... The problem is, now that Orange is gone, I can focus a little more into protecting Butterfly. But Butterfly just doesn't really have much of anything here. I mean, most of his army's already gone. There's almost no defenses, and as you can see, Pink building a large fleet of his own. Pink really taking up the mantle of navigating the seas after Orange will die. So let's go ahead and see what's going on in the player bases. Blue with quite a few cormorants, and this is what I was afraid of with my naval force. This is why I backed up. It's why I didn't attack earlier, because I needed to make sure that I had some anti-air in case someone was hiding something like that. What's going on in Pink's base? Pink now attacking another force, mostly bulldogs, stumpies. A little bit of smattering of air defense here and there. But, let's go ahead and speed it up a little bit, because at this point I think we're all just kind of ecoing up. And Pink is attacking yet again. sending some scouts in to see what's going on their side of the map. This would have been a nice target. But now pink has broken through. Like I said, there's almost no defense here at all. Butterfly really needs to move his aircraft out of there. But oh no, check this out. Here comes the rapier spam. I know I've got to protect Butterfly. So this is how I'm going to do it. That is a lot of gunships. And Butterfly bringing his own gunships as well. So it's a little hard to control gunships, guys, because the best way to do it is to right-click on each unit individually. As you can tell, that's very micro-intensive. Bringing Vamps as well. Try to protect the Rapiers. The sky battle ensues. The Vamps will chew up these Avengers without much trouble. However, there was some air defense off the coastline there. Unfortunately, pink will break through with a nasty army of bulldogs and stumpies. I'm sending some Goliaths forward now, or north. But more rapiers in the mix. Trying to clean this up, trying to prevent him from killing my base. He does take out one advanced vehicle plant. And the Butterfly with the D gun there. Is it about half health? So using everything in our arsenal to just try and survive here. This is obviously not a great situation for us. The north area has just totally collapsed. Yeah, the sea here has been heavily taken over by pink. And of course I can barely leave my base. If I do, I just get tactical nuked. Which, by the way, I did build a couple hedgehogs here. I did eventually build some mobile nuke defense, so you know, I was attempting to stop myself from getting tactical nuked over and over ad infinitum throughout for the rest of the game, which I'm sort of embarrassed to say. I lost a lot of units to that, but now bringing my rapiers. Oh no, what is this micro here? Guys, this isn't it. I was trying to bring my rapiers up there to maybe attack the ships, but a little bit of a micro fail, and ultimately that's not going to work out. So I do have a little bit of a naval force here that I could have maybe swung around. Right now, attempting to defend the land. And I'm moving a naval force up here to engage this army. I really want to get pink off the coastline here and be able to reclaim our the northern part of our island, the northern part of our base. It's kind of the idea there. I do believe, let's see how many kills this, only one kill on the Intimidator. But yeah, this is very difficult as blue and pink are closing in on us. Tons of Goliaths there. And being shelled off the shoreline as well. It's quite a dire situation. This was from earlier when when Brown gave me those bombers. Which did help, by the way. They did help defend me from some of the Goliath pushes that blue was doing. But again, it's difficult, right? They're pushing down our north side. It's hard for me to help as much because I need to, I guess, get some units up here and start building some doomsday machines or something. It's very hard. Goliaths are extremely good at killing defenses. It's kind of like what they're designed for almost. But now it's even worse because pink has included flax in his defenses. It's not going to be so easy to just kill them all with rapiers after all. Flax are extremely good against gunships. And this is a scary looking force with coastal support moving down. It's an extremely terrifying situation. I guess build power is not something I'm lacking. But resources kind of are, as you can see. Have no metal at all. I am using absolutely everything here. Try and build an army to defend myself. And this situation just becoming incredibly dire for us as they continue to encroach on our base. However, here comes the rapiers. Here comes the gunships to save the day. A whole fleet, a whole armada of these things. I've really outdone myself. I'm kind of proud of myself here for building this many gunships. Even though he's got tons of anti-air, there's so many gunships. Bringing in fighters as well. A true battle for the sky. We have flax of our own. And once again, encroaching on our base from all angles, it becomes very difficult to defend every single entrance and possibility. There are so many units. I'm building air repair pads here to try to repair my damaged air force. But once again, we are barely holding on by the skin of our teeth. I'm gathering a naval force here to deal with what pink has, because again, I want to get them off our coastline if I can, and if possible, reclaim the northern part of the island there, of the northern part of our base. There isn't much air defense here though. But unfortunately, like I said, the best way to do this is to right-click on every single one of these anacondas. There's really no easier way to do it. Like if you tell the rapiers to just patrol the area, they don't do a great job of selecting their targets. They just kind of hover around and waste a lot of time. And Butterfly using his D-gun, doing what we can here as they also break through the north part of our base. But hold that thought, because now there is an epic naval battle ready to ensue. I've been building this fleet to stop Pink's embargo of our island here, and now finally bringing it to bear. 3 warlords, everything just kind of crashing together. Definitely not the best micromanagement I've ever had in my entire life. Finally, the way you want to use these battleships is by actually trying to keep them away from the enemy fleet. Battleships are, of course, very long-ranged, and I do have the superior force here. I will take out most of Pink's army, trying to get control of the sea. I feel like if I can get control of the sea here, then we will be able to reclaim the top part of our island, and then perhaps get back into the game, get out of this defensive position where we're just clinging to dear life, hanging on for dear life. It seems like all we can really do here is just try to hang on as we get the endless waves of units. But I kind of feel like taking the first step. However, he has 2 millenniums, so man, Pink really did a great job of having I felt like I had an unbeatable naval force, but Pink had even more than me. Look at all these battleships. It will crush what was left of my armada. And once again, Fake Bob, definitely the MVP this game. He's just been making a lot of good decisions. This is true battleship warfare, fighting from a huge range, trying to keep moving to dodge some of those shells. But oh my god, here comes the Air Force. The one thing this army does not have is air defense. So again, the back and forth naval, air, and land combat. Look at all these gunships, even the Millennium, which have so much health, is dying so quickly. I mean, this game was just so close. It was incredibly close, and like I said, extremely dynamic. All the different strategies that were being used, and yeah, just incredible. Pink sending another hovercraft force down the way, but it kind of feels like we're stabilizing here. Blue with a decent sized army of pillagers, which is never a great thing to have to deal with. I don't really have much left on the land. Most of my army is in the air at this point, because the northern team really hasn't been building enough air defense to stop me from just well, doing this. And apparently there's not enough gunships in the world. So this was a lot of fun. All the gunship spam. Pink with a nice attack of anacondas, and again, we just weren't able to stop that from happening. My attention is focused over here on Blue's army, but you know, it does feel like we're stabilizing. The battle for the sea continuing to rage as I moved more forces up there, but I took out most of his fleet. He's now including some anti-air. But look at this micro fail here. It's everywhere you want to be, but oh, check this out. The hovercraft will sneak around and find my commander by himself when I'm not paying attention, and Pink wins the game with a nice snipe. So guys, that was a crazy game. That was super fun. Epic naval battles. It even hit T3. Just extremely good job, I think, by both teams. It was super close. I think we could have won if I had paid more attention to Pink's little maneuver here. Probably could have brought the rapiers, and the game would have gone on, and maybe we would have even won. It's hard to say. It is hard to say who would have won this game. It was so close. Definitely being a bit of a noob by dying to Pink like that. But either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This was our first game on patch 997 that just came out, and man, it was a banger. So guys, thank you for watching this cast. Awesome game. Great job to everyone involved. And guys, come be a part of our community. I'd love to have you. You can join my Discord. I'll put the link in the description, and I'll catch you in the next video.